The Roman Empire and its gladiators did eventually disappear, but not because it was conquered and destroyed, and there's no day when Rome actually fell, but because it changed. One change was that early in the 4th century, Christianity became an official religion. Suddenly, compassion for the weak and mercy to the defeated were supposed to be respectable emotions. And what's more, some Christians even opposed the games.
They not only allow people who plead for mercy to be killed, but even demand it. Why, they even order people who have been struck down and are sprawled in the sand to have their bodies torn apart, in case anyone fools them by pretending to be dead.
This cruel and bloodthirsty sport, the wickedness of the fighting.
But though some Christians denounced the games as wicked, there were others who, as good Romans, were determined to keep them going. They just stopped killing fellow Christians.
Christians in power continued an awful lot of the same kinds of public, quite violent, bloody punishments that the Romans had condoned in the arena before them.
But the Roman world was not only being emasculated by Christianity. As the new religion grew, vast numbers of non-Romans forced their way into the Western Empire, the so-called barbarians. And whenever they took control of a city, the gladiatorial games seemed to have stopped. The very word Vandal means a mindless destroyer. But in fact, the Vandals and the Goths and the Visigoths were admired by disaffected Romans, and for good reason. A 5th century writer, Salvian, explained that the barbarians might not have washed very often, but they had more moral sense than the Romans.
We Romans oppress each other. A man cannot be safe unless he is wicked. So many people, well-educated and from good families, flee to our enemies. They would rather endure a foreign civilization among the barbarians than cruel injustice among the Romans.
The Romans would enjoy the paradox, wouldn't they? That it was the barbarians who, they're trying desperately to show their superiority over the barbarians with these games. And the moment that the barbarians move in, the games cease to matter. The presence of the barbarians is the biggest factor that transforms their world.
This is a barbarian king shown with symbols of a Roman triumph. The newcomers were happy to be seen as Romans, but they didn't see any need to stage public executions or imitations of fighting for entertainment. The frontiers collapsed, and the Romans were no longer able to sit around this sand like gods, deciding who lived and who died. The world of the savages had taken over as far as the Romans were concerned.